Imagine this. You've made the decision to sell and you're getting excited, and then all of a sudden it hits you. You look around and you see all the little things that need to be fixed. The house probably needs to be repainted. And you start making this mental list of all the things that need to be done before you sell your home in Flower Mound. And then before you know it, you just get completely overwhelmed.
If that sounds familiar, you're definitely not alone, because a lot of the homeowners we talk to here in Flower Mound say that getting your home ready to sell is the most stressful part about the whole process. The good news is it doesn't have to be. When you have a clear plan of action and know what to focus on and when to do it, it takes a lot of the stress out of the process.
Today, we're walking you through the 3-step plan in preparing your home in Flower Mound to sell without the stress. So we've actually even created a free checklist that you can download to help you get started on that first step. If you're like most homeowners, you just start thinking about preparing to sell and you don't even know where to begin. You just see that never-ending list, and suddenly selling the house seems a lot harder than originally you expected.
And in Flower Mound, the buyers have high expectations. So they're expecting a home to be fresh and clean and ready to move into. So that means you, as a homeowner that's a seller, the pressure is on.
And here's what many homeowners don't realize. Sometimes the things that you feel are important don't even matter to buyers. You may find yourself, expending stress and energy and money that you don't even need to.
That is why having a simple plan makes all the difference in the world. So that way you know what to focus on and what to ignore. It makes the whole process a lot easier and a lot less stressful. Have you ever felt stuck and not knowing where to start as far as getting your home ready to sell? Just drop a comment down below.
So picture this. You're walking as a buyer into a home and you notice the kitchen counters are cluttered. The closets are completely stuffed. There's no more room in there. And the furniture is pretty big for the room, so it feels really tight when you walk in there. So how does that make you feel? Probably, like this house is not big enough for my stuff. It feels very small and tiny and just cluttered. Now imagine that same house with the countertops cleaned off. The closets have plenty of space. The rooms are very open and welcoming with neutral colors. Makes all the difference in the world. That way the buyer can see themselves living in this house.
That is why decluttering and cleaning the home is the first and foremost important step of the whole process. If you do nothing else, that is the key thing, because when the buyers walk in, they're wanting something fresh and open so that way they can imagine themselves living there.
Right. And a lot of times besides that, what we've experienced when walking buyers through homes, even if it's a beautiful home, if you start seeing, and we've had buyers do this, see dust bunnies along the baseboards, and the air conditioning filters are full, and they just see that little bit of like uncleanliness, the windows and the window sills, immediately they start to think, oh, this seller has not taken care of this home. What else could be wrong?
Yeah, because they're looking at the mechanical issues as far as the heating and air conditioning, the plumbing, the hot water heaters, those big ticket items. They start adding that up real quickly in their head, and that's when they really get concerned.
Yes, and even besides that, what we have found, it's a psychological thing of they're thinking, oh, like if this person didn't maintain this house, how easy are they going to be to deal with in negotiating the sale of this home? And are they really going to make the repairs needed correctly? Because unfortunately, many times when they negotiate repairs to be made on a home, that seller is looking to cut corners. I wish that it weren't that way. I wish everybody felt, like they were passing along a house as if it were them buying the home, and do it the right way. But unfortunately, not everybody does that. And sometimes you'll find that even if they've done repairs, they weren't done very well. The people that tend to not take care of homes, maybe they don't have the money to do the repairs. And so they're just trying to kind of stick duct tape on it and make it work. So that is why it's so important that if you don't do anything else to clean and declutter, whether you do it or if you pay someone to come in and do it for you. Either way, that's your biggest first step. So we've actually created a checklist how to get your home ready to sell in 30 days or less. And actually, it goes room by room so that you can take it just step by step. It's not overwhelming, just one thing at a time. And there's some things on there that sometimes you don't think of, like replacing light bulbs. A lot of times that's an issue on inspection reports, or just cleaning the baseboards or, doing the air conditioning filters, things like that. So feel free to get this free checklist. Just download it at the link below.
One of the biggest mistakes we see that sellers make is spending money on updates that do not even really enhance or help the sale of the home.
What if you spend thousands of dollars painting your home in this trendy coffee brown color that you're seeing all over the internet, on Pinterest, and only to find out that buyers would actually prefer a lighter, more neutral tones throughout? Now, all those buyers can see when they come in is how much money they're going to have to spend to repaint all those walls. And as a matter of fact, that's really what happened to our home. Is they had the home on the market for a long time with some really dark colors. And the listing agent, I guess, had their stager come in, and I'm assuming the stager, requested these certain colors, but they weren't neutrals that were currently trending, the really light neutrals. They were more different shades of brown. So every room is a different shade or tone of brown and olive green and light blue. And so it wasn't to our taste. And so now we have to come in and repaint everything. So, and them spending all that money to have to repaint, I thought, gosh, what a waste. If they could have just had some guidance there to know, these other colors would have been so much better.
Or really spending $25,000 or more on totally redoing your kitchen, when really in actuality the house just needed a fresh coat of paint throughout the whole house and new flooring and just replacing the countertops. And that's really what the buyers probably would be even looking for, rather than just spending all the money on one room, because now the buyers are having to look at, okay, how much money is it going to cost me to repaint the whole house and to do the flooring, which add up to thousands of dollars as well.
Yeah, we actually saw a house like that in Flower Mound, and it was that beautiful kitchen remodel, and with the very expensive appliances, and yet the rest of the house needed updated, paint and flooring. And I was just thinking in my head, gosh, they could have had some really nice appliances without going to that extreme and taking that extra money and put some paint on the walls and put some new flooring in, and that house would have sold immediately. But instead, it was sitting there vacant for a long time. As a matter of fact, I'm not sure if it's sold yet, but I was thinking, how sad, because that homeowner is losing money as that home is just sitting there day after day on the market. So we've seen this happen way too many times, when sellers will go and make updates thinking they're doing the right thing, things that they maybe have read online or have heard from someone, and only to put that money in a place that it's not even really needed. And so I think it's really crucial to sit down with your real estate agent in this second step before you do any updates. After you do the decluttering and the cleaning up, have your agent come in and say, hey, what do we need to do, if anything? I mean, sometimes you really don't need to do anything, but I think it's best because, trends change and the market changes. And I think when we saw in the COVID market, houses were selling for crazy prices with no updates because people were just desperate to get in something. And then that changes. So you're going to get different advice based on the market, what your home looks like. And there's some homes that really can't be updated because you just don't have a stopping point, right? And so you just have to know there's unique homes that we've seen, like in Tour 18, where it was a very unique property, very rustic, a certain period style, where there was no stopping point. So you just have to price it according to that and know that that's just the way it is. So it's critical to sit down with a great real estate agent first before you make any updates.
So this is when you should be talking about your plans after selling. Are you needing to go ahead and buy your new home first? before selling, or are you looking to sell first and then buy, or do it simultaneously? Getting a clear picture up front will greatly reduce your stress during the whole process. So, have you thought about selling first or buying first? Just drop a comment down below. And the reason I'm just kind of curious is because a lot of our clients we're helping here in Flower Mound, we're helping them go ahead and buy first and then sell, because it really reduces their stress. Because one, they're able to take the time to go shop for their new home and not feeling the pressure of that. That way they go ahead and get close on that. Then they turn around and sell their existing home. So that way they're not having to worry about the stress of showings, keeping it clean, what to do with the kids and the pets during the showings.
And think about this. When do you actually want to be moved? If you don't have a clear plan for this, you're definitely setting yourself up for a lot of stress.
That's why this final step of setting a timeline and setting expectations will really help reduce the stress in the whole process.
Most sellers don't realize that once their home goes under contract, they typically have about 30 to 45 days until closing. So if their agent knows ahead of time what their plan is, they can actually negotiate some of that to be helpful in the negotiations, during the contract period, of maybe they need a longer close time. Maybe they need a lease back to give them a few days to get out of the house, or even a week or longer. And so having that plan set up front before you ever put a sign in the yard is really, really critical.
Most sellers think they have plenty of time until suddenly they don't. That is why before making any decisions of picking up a paintbrush or even calling a contractor is to put a strategic plan in place, because it's definitely going to save you a lot of time, money, and energy.
That is something that I believe our clients find so incredibly helpful, is that we always sit down in the beginning and have a strategy call and look at, what they're wanting to accomplish and all the different options and the ways that they could do things, because many times people don't move a lot. They're not moving every year, so things change and they don't really always know what all the steps are. They're not looking at all the different things that need to take place, which is our job to oversee and say, have you thought about this? And here's some things that you might not have considered in the plan that you want to, accomplish. So if that's you, if you need some help to figure out, hey, how do I even get started? These 3 steps are great. Now the next one is, let's get a strategy. That's what we're here for. If you'd love to reach out, we're giving a free, no obligation, just strategy call to talk through the process, figure out what you want to do. And so we're here for that. Just click on the link below to schedule your free consultation.